some throat chakra sticking. I'm Zoe, and this is DivinityWithinThee, where we take time to get in touch with the divine. For some, you may have, there may be something that you haven't said that you need to be saying. That was like a really constricting energy as soon as I came on. So, for whoever this applies to, now remember, guys, when I do readings on here, they are collective readings. If you would like a personal or private reading that is specifically having to do with just you and your situation, you can go ahead and email me, leave me a message here, okay? I'm a bit of a space cadet because I don't operate on regular time. It's very linear for a person like me. So, also, I did hear that some people have been emailing and it's not going through. I'm not exactly sure. So make sure if you do send an email or something like that for a private reading, you also leave me a message because I get everything on the YouTube. Definitely nobody else has access to my YouTube. Definitely there's been issues with people hacking other things for sure. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I'm definitely not. I have not received I have not received your email, okay? I'm not ignoring you. So, yeah, drop a note and then, or after you send an email, drop a note saying that you emailed, okay? I sent an email, boom, boom, okay? Help your girl out, right? Like I said, I'm not fully existing in the linear space and time. So let's do a little bit of this one, huh? Bring a little bit of the rose with the sage today. I will do it on this one. This is actually really cool that my friend made for me. It's a great way to actually burn, what do you call it, copal? Copal. Somewhere, actually, I have a lot of frankincense. I think it's on my altar. But, so it's like a little screen. So it's a short candle holder. This is a good life hack for you guys to know. Inside, it's got like a little tea light. I'm not using it for this specifically today. But the height and the distance of the tea light to this little screen, this is like a screen, okay, that's just bent over the edge. And then there's like this other little screen, okay, that just sits on top of it, just to kind of keep the heat to a minimum, if that makes sense, so it's not burning too much. And then so yeah, so then it just slowly heats the copal and it actually burns better when you put it on those and normally I don't burn other things on here, but since these are loose leaves, that's what I'm doing. Because I always just burn stuff and then all the ash goes downstairs and then there's like a bunch of mess, all the cats and stuff. So today I'm going to burn it on here so it has a place to catch the ash. But remind me another time and I will get the frankincense or something like this. Different scents are good for different times. I've been feeling a lot of, what they really asked me to come on and share today is like spiritual cleansing, okay? So spiritual cleansing practices, okay? I spend a lot of time doing these, even in order to just get up here to start my daily runabouts. So there's many different things that you can use for cleansing. Right now I'm using white sage. This is white sage, and this actual bundle has rose in it as well. So I'm doing both because I feel like It's Moon Day, right? So if you're cleaning a space or yourself, energy, whatever, right? Um, First, you got to have the intention. Number one, clean your clean yourself. Okay, if you're not in a space where you can like shower or bathe or physically clean yourself, then go to a bathroom and um, clean your hands, clean your face. Okay, mainly hands and face. Um, But what I've noticed a lot right now in the collective, you guys, is there's a lot of these vampiric and parasitic, um, like these darker entities, these lower vibrational frequencies that are trying to basically infiltrate. And that is what they're doing when we're not protected or we're not blocked. I'm not blocked, but we're not protecting our space. So just as much as you do, just as much as like I sweep every day in my house, but I open everything so like so much dust and stuff blows in. So every day it's like I'm cleaning up all the dust and dirt from the cats and from the hair and all of this. But regardless, just as you get up every day and you need to brush your teeth or shower, right, or sweep your floor every day, you also need to be doing this spiritual cleansing, this spiritual hygiene every day. And this is what's really important, is the spiritual hygiene, the spiritual cleansing. So like first you can start with burning something, right? Burning incense or dupa, sage, palo santo. If you want to, look at this, moon on Moon Day. If you're really cleansing a space, first you have to cleanse yourself, okay? So a couple of things that you can do as far as that's concerned. You can do spiritual cleansing, like as far as bathing. So you can do this, you can practice it as you're in your bath, allowing the water to kind of absorb, like as the same as you would sit in the earth and meditate and allow the earth to kind of absorb the energy. You would do the same thing in the water, right? Allowing all of anything that's stuck, anything that needs to move, because the water is constant flow, and anything that's emotionally stuck or feeling still within us or traumatizing, put it in the water. Like every day, multiple times a day, I shower. I do spiritual cleansing, and I shower, right? And as you're showering, you can imagine, right? Imagine just like washing off. Imagine the water becoming like light, and the light just like washing off any of this heaviness, any of this darkness. So like there's not really like, people do a lot of cord cutting, and you can do cord cutting, but that's not as much, it doesn't have as it's not really holding it's not really holding any clout on the like spiritual realm. It's more of like a physical thing, right? It's more of like a mental trick for 3D. So what I do every day is when I start to feel energies of people or situations or things that are pulling me into these negative thought frames, or start to get me in a spiraling state, right? I think about like Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, right? It's like all it takes is like 7 seconds or 16 seconds focusing on something to change the trajectory, to change the thought pattern or whatever, right? It only takes, I think it's like 16 or maybe 17 seconds. And after 17 seconds, basically you can start creating like a snowball effect of like the thing that makes you happy, of that energy that makes you happy. So like, let's say it's a puppy or a kid, or let's say, for me, it's like my cat, right? So I'm just like, oh, my cat, like we do somatic snuggling, right? So every morning she comes and she's really sweet, and she rubs my face and she makes sure I'm breathing, and puts her little paws and gives me little kisses, and we do little like snuggies, right? And we do like this little rock back and forth. It's just like somatic body work, and we do humming, and she does like back with me. And so we have this little routine, but it's how we get in this frequency, right, is like just starting the day in this thing, in this positive frame of something that makes you positive, right? So if that means you start your day again cuddling your pet, then that's great. Start your day cuddling your pet, that brings you joy. Luckily, I'm lucky because she's like a great therapy pet. So she makes sure that I get up, right? She makes sure that I eat. She makes sure that I do these things, right? Um, and she'll sit there, and before she goes to play or do whatever, she'll make sure that I've done what I needed to do, because she knows that I have this traumatic brain injury. And so learned, since she was with me, since she was very small, and she learned how we do things, it's like there's a certain time she knows you need to have eaten by now. You didn't eat enough. It's like, well, I ate something. It's like, that wasn't food. It's like this. And I'm like, okay. So look at that at 11:11. How things manifest, right? How guidance, how help, how things manifest us may come in forms different than like our normal human narrative is used to, as these big bugs come inside. So like, for instance, yesterday I saw a really big, what do you call it? Grasshopper, right? The Gemini cricket. And I was like, okay, Gemini. Okay, like always let your conscience be your guide. So this is your intuition, right? When we stop letting all of the exterior stuff, when we slow down and we focus in and we hone in on this good feeling, on what is actually feeling good, not causing exterior feeling, then we can reach a better like peace, right? We can actually reach, and when we reach this centered space within ourselves is when we can actually connect to source, right? We don't have to be in this deep state of meditation. Meditation can be different things, right? Like meditation for me is channeling. Meditation for me is singing or dancing or swimming. There's a lot of different ways. Now also, yes, meditation and breath work, yes. But also know that in the state of play, okay, so in the state of manifesting, right? If you're in the state of joy or the state of play, or if you're actually connected with like a higher divine being, then if you're in the state of like true like love and orgasmic state, you can actually start to call in and manifest things more quickly, because that energetic, because it's so clean and clear, connected to source, right? This play, this giggle, this it's, and I don't mean like you can't achieve that by connecting. So they want me to be clear about this. You cannot achieve that by just connecting, okay? Something that's ending in this old paradigm, okay? Something that we're evaluating right now, right? We're having the retrograde, and we have a lot of water energy right now. And we have a lot of fixed sign energy right now as well. So the fixed signs are the guardians of the galaxy, right? They're the guardians of the universe, of the galaxy, yeah? They are the guardians of the galaxy, the fixed signs. So this is Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, okay? So they're the ones that guard the universe, right? And because they're the fixed signs, when big planets or signs come in to change in these fixed signs, it means we're restructuring the format, or the how things have been structured in the galaxy and the universe thus far. So if we're moving into a more feminine energy, right, then what's going to happen is the way that we have been doing things in this masculine or patriarchal energy is not going to be the same way that we're going to bring in this other energy, right? Like, it's not sustainable to this new way, to this other way. I don't think it's a new way. I think it was the original way. And that's why I say the new era, KNEW, right? It's new, but it's remembrance. It's something that we already knew. It's not new, it's something that's been known. So what's happening is, what they want me to make sure to say is that basically old ways, right? Old toxic, like prostitution, okay? And I don't mean anything to people that are working, whatever, this and that, right? This is nothing to do, okay? Don't let your wounded human ego, okay? The wounded human ego, let it go, okay? The little goblin, okay? This is changing. We're making forward movement. We're letting go of this ego sense. And the reality is in order to switch to this beautiful feminine energy, we cannot be defiling that which is sacred. So this goes to people that have this sacred feminine portal that are selling it for 3D, for money, for physical turn. And people can say everything they want. They can say that there is no other option, but that's bullshit. There's always a choice. There's always a choice. And at any moment you can choose a new choice. You can change your mind. At any moment, you can change in a heartbeat. One fucking heartbeat. That's how quick you can make a change. That's how quick your life can end. That's how quick something can begin. In a heartbeat. It's a choice. So what won't be happening is anybody that has been harvesting or using, so this is a very specific message. Remember, take what resonates, leave what does not. Disruption. So there's people that have been harvesting life force energy through sexual energy. Some of it has been through like sex cults. Whoops. Burning my finger, you guys. Yeah, look. Somebody could have got burnt. Somebody got burnt. They got nailed. Okay? Dear universe, source, creator, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, aliens, archangels, galactic federation, all of the beings of love and light in the highest vibrational frequency, helping us get to the highest timelines possible. Thank you for your guidance, your support, and your protection. Thank you for your presence. So the disruption that has been occurring, I need to make another blessing for you guys that are coming into my space. So the disruption that's been occurring in the system, like this is old system that's systematically falling and it's getting cleansed. All of this is getting cleansed, okay? These old ways, these old rules, these old, where they've been defiling the women or the woman has been observant, like all of this is changing, you guys. And so what's happening is we're witnessing this. Can I get a witness? The whole global audience, the whole galactic audience actually is fucking watching, right? This is actually a galactic. Imagine it's like the galaxy's finale, right? Like imagine it's like the love boat, the love ship, right? We're on this spaceship, right? So imagine it's like the grand finale, right? And we're like, yeah, we all came here because we know that love. But a lot of us are not acting in that space, right? Like, and so what's happening is there's this distortion, right? And the people that are existing in these lower frequencies, right, that are still maybe drinking too much or partying too much or just not honoring temple, right? And this means not just like our temples, right? We have to honor our own temple, but also they're not honoring other people's temples, right? And this is a very serious offense. People that are doing that are going to be stuck in time loops, okay? And that's not what you want either. So this disruption of all these people is coming to a close, and all the people that we're summoning like this energy, like this sex magic energy and different things like this, are losing the ability Hello. And so what's happening is they're basically, yeah, they're beyond fear, okay? They're being knocked down. And for some of them, they may have actually been telling a story, and they may have been telling a story against collective. They may have been telling big stories against collective. And now what's happening is their whole empire is being turned around. And where they were trying to induce fear, right? Where they were trying to be deceptive, right? And they were trying to induce fear, now it's coming back, okay? So this is something that's very serious right now, you guys, in the collective. And with this king in reverse, this is like a collapse of a cult, of a ring, of a system, of a patriarchy, something like this. Take it as it resonates. But yeah, so this type of energy will no longer be accepted. So anybody defiling temples, like imagine it's the same thing, right? If source creation, if the all that is, right? We're not separate from it. It created us. We're of its creation, right? The portal between the ethers, the heavens and the earth, right? That is physical, that is female body's form, right? The pussy is the portal between. Let's just be real, okay? Taking something that's a spirit or a soul, growing it, gestating it, and then birthing it into this reality for it to become into the physical form, from the conception to the physicality, okay? So knowing that, the way that, generally speaking, mother works, mother nature, whatever, right, is in a nurturing sense. So anything, look at that, 2222. So anything, any connection that is not soul nurturing, that is just for temporary, just for gain, just for pleasure, just for escape, just for anything like this, is going to be like, this isn't, all of this lower frequency, all of this abuse, this is not, it's not gonna continue. It's not. There will be worshiping, literally. Like if you were to go and defile, like, let's say like a temple or a flag or something like this, there would be serious repercussions. Now, feminine energy isn't as punitive as masculine energy. Be lucky that Pluto has moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. However, Aquarius doesn't have that much emotion. It's wrangling the water, but it still can't. So, right now, I think Scorpio, Venus is in Scorpio. So this is really having us go to the depths of like, what do we love? Why do we love? What is it? And this even goes back to who we're loving. Why are we with them? And this doesn't just mean a physical person, right? This also means like, who's your community? Who's your coven? Who's your, like, who's your friends? Who's your family? Like, if these people are not on the same frequency, like, you have to understand that it's time to kind of move past that, right? You have to understand that in order to level up, you can't be staying on the lower levels with all these lower level people doing these lower level actions. It just doesn't work. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's like Jesus. It's like Jesus, the second coming, and Jesus is with the prostitutes. No. Don't get it twisted. Jesus was not fucking prostitutes, first of all. Second of all, he was healing the people that were shunned. Okay? He was teaching them that they could too tap the knowledge. Okay? That was his purpose, because he was in masculine energy, teaching what he had been taught from Sophia, feminine energy, right? I was listening to somebody talking about how Sophia, or Mary Magdalene, right, was basically this, it was a newer incarnation, a reincarnation of this Isis spirit, right? And so when Isis had came, she had Osiris, right, had been basically like dismembered, killed, buried alive. And then when she found him and brought him back, then they dismembered him. And then she was able to do it again, right? And then she was able to do this conception where she conceived Horus. So now if you look at this, it's almost like I can see the similarity, right? To where Mary Magdalene was the next, maybe not the next, but another incarnation coming to finish that process, right? And what was the process that she was finishing was, now she's coming in, right? She's has this knowledge, then she's having this immaculate conception, right? And having to take this other type of ridicule. So, and then heal through that and birth this prophet through that, right? So you have to think about, as we're coming back and we're coming back and we're coming back and we're reincarnating, who are these people, right? Nothing is a coincidence. We don't cross paths with people for no reason. So do your best to understand, even if you're not meant. Okay, so for some of you guys, right? For some of you guys, there can be like twin flame connections that end up being more platonic. Do you understand? There can be soulmate or twin flame or other types of connections that end up being more like that. And the reason why they end up being more platonic, yes, everything is divinely orchestrated, exactly. And the reason why is because you have something to fucking do this lifetime, right? You have something to do. You are souls that are in a level of soul recognition that's coming back together. That's like, fuck, bro, do you remember? Like, we're getting the band back together. Like, same team, same family. Yeah, everything is working for us. Well, it depends, okay, right? It depends, like whether you think you can or you can't, whether you think things are working for you or against you. Either way, you're right, because your thoughts and your words are what's magnetic and powerful. So if you think that everything is going to be terrible, then maybe it will. But if you think, fuck, everything can just be amazing, then it is, right? Perception and projection is 9/10 of universal law. So what are you projecting as what you're perceiving? And if you're perceiving something in such a sad, negative, dramatic way, then think about how you can change your perception, right? Like for me, I can be like, oh man, like this, I could have 1,000 things to complain about. Or I can say, wow, I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, source, creator. I'm so grateful for another day. I'm so grateful for the sun to come out. It's been raining and cloudy. Like yesterday, I was like, you know what? I just felt like relaxing. Like Sunday, I was like, I'm going to go on an adventure in the sun. And then the sun never came out. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's time for me to like be in rest and meditate and really tap in. And like, that's what I did yesterday, guys. I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to breathe and meditate and tap in. Yeah, everything is working for you in your favor. Absolutely. I can't see your name. I have to come closer. Hanan or Hanan? Break the chains and set yourself free. Everything is not in a loop. You get stuck in a loop when you don't notice the pattern recognition, okay? This is something that I teach. This is something that I work with people in sessions as well, okay? So it's about pattern recognition, right? And then it's about pattern disrupt, okay? So the first thing is, first we have to understand where the cycle keeps repeating, where we are seeing the pattern, where the pattern recognition, where we're seeing the same thing come through in different places and different people and different scenarios, okay? First, there's the pattern recognition. Once we recognize, oh, this is a fucking pattern, okay? Then we have to actively take part in the pattern disrupt, okay? So for instance, okay, let me share a little story time. For instance, I realized the pattern recognition a long time, like when I first started the last relationship. And I noticed it and I kept seeing it and it was getting me whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I haven't been with somebody in a really long time. So this is something I have to learn to process and to heal and to maybe be better about. And so I just kept doing that until I realized I'm a fucking fool. That was my chance to make the pattern disrupt. So when I finally made the pattern disrupt, when I finally said, you know what? If you can't support me in these ways, and this wasn't in a monetary way, support my healing journey as my partner, someone that claimed to be, then I don't think we can be together. Because if when someone's sick, you want to help them get better, right? You don't want to force them to get more sick. Well, it was the opposite way around because I was dealing with a fucking psychopath. Anyways, beside the point. The point is when I decided to pattern disrupt, when I said, you know what, I need space. I have to be in my own space. I have to clean everything. I'm going to do a fast. I'm going to do a water cleanse. I'm going to do this. If you're not, because what I realized is the pattern disrupt was coming not from me, it's coming from the other person that didn't want to do their work, that kept going out and engaging in these other things that were bringing on these other lower frequency entities, these vampiric, parasitic fucking entities that were coming into me and sucking my life force energy because I was sharing this exchange with this person. So, if you are a high light being, okay, if you are not in your actual divine union, I would highly suggest for spiritual cleansing and protection to be in a state of celibacy, okay? To be in a state of celibacy, unless you are with your actual divine partner. There is so much energetic life force and sex harvesting this life force because that orgasmic state can manifest. And what's happening is as the collective is waking up and we're becoming more attuned to the parasitic and the lower vibrational frequencies, they're stopping to have things to feed off of because we're cleansing, because we're doing the spiritual cleansing, because we're doing the energetic cleansing, because we're doing the physical cleansing. And because of that, they're now struggling. They need something to fucking leech onto. Does that make sense? So yeah, everything is not in a loop. The loop happens. I'm like, wow, why did I get off on this thing? A loop happens. You get stuck in the loop because the loop is karmic, okay? The loop is a construct of your own mental mind, right? Like the fear complex, like the, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have enough money, blah, 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 okay? All of this. This is a loop. This is a mental loop. This is a construct that the patriarch has created to keep you in this space, to keep you as the worker bee, to keep you in that state. Look at that. That was at 3333. Okay? Now, it's your choice to break and to manifest out of that. Quantum jumping beats the loops, reach higher shift realities. So this is exactly scientific purpose is why you're dabbling in the void. Okay, and so this is another thing. The alchemy means ascension. Exactly. So ancestral chains are loops. Okay, yes, and that is something that we're coming to break. What we understand is if we're incarnated at this time, if we're here, light seeds, indigo, star work, or whatever, if we're in this, let's say, 144,000, right? We're here to change the literal frequency of the collective, of the entire planet, which ripples out like a domino effect or like a water, like a stone in the water. It ripples out galactically, cosmically. That's why we have all of the that's why we have all these people here to come in to help us right now, or beings, let me say beings and entities to help us. So what's happening is they're helping us to get out of these loops, get out of the loop, get out of the loop, get out of the loop. You know, it's like, what's it called? Like Tron, right? Imagine, like, if you guys know Tron, so imagine when they go and they can, like, get in and they can drop onto the playing board, right? And if they fuck up, they're like, psh, they explode. But like the more they're in tune, connected, the more they can know exactly when to move. This is exactly what's going on, right? We're in this holographic simulation. And so we're like figuring out what is, right? So if you imagine like a hologram, right? If you imagine a hologram, it doesn't matter. Let's say the picture is this big, okay? Now, if you cut this hologram down into something this small, the same full picture is still on it, no matter what size that you create it to. Okay? Am I still with me here? So what happens is we're in this own little simulation. So what are we reflecting back and what are we perceiving? Because what we choose to be our constant perception of reality is what can keep us stuck in that small versus the big. It's what can keep us trapped in this fucking holographic nightmare versus the heaven that we wish to create. And so a lot of what people don't understand is the people that are participating in the lower frequency things, people that are still dabbling with black magic, people that are still dealing with siphoning energy and low frequency sexual acts, mini sexual partner, all of these things, right? If you want to tap, okay, right, the Ankh, okay, for instance, the Ankh, you see in all the Egyptian stuff, this is the source of life. This is basically what Christianity, what patriarchy did was turn it into a cross and make you be in fear of worshiping that you owed something. Now, this is actually womb. And the way that it works is energetically, right? So imagine energetically, as you have the vagal nerve, which is controlling everything, it goes down into your womb space, right? As you're hitting this orgasmic state, as you're hitting this Kundalini awakening and it's rising, you want it to come all the way up to the crown and hold it and bring it back down. How does that happen? That happens when we're in this state of like this orgasmic state, but we're not actually. So you can have an orgasm and not come. You can come and maybe not orgasm. I mean, for women anyway, maybe it's not the same for men, but it's basically like the same energy, right? When we're holding that energy, we're building this chi. So if we're going around and we're sexually promiscuous with a bunch of people, we're giving out the chi and we're kind of infecting the chi by everybody else's who they're affecting. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it just keeps building and building and building. And so that's why even though, yes, I know I can manifest if I just get to this orgasmic state with somebody, I know that it also has to be somebody that can reach that clean and clear orgasmic state that isn't bringing in all of this other polluted, low vibrational frequency whore energy into my temple, right? And so same thing. So what we let enter our temple, so this is our thoughts, okay? And how a lot of people get stuck in these lower frequencies and these third densities and such like this is because they're where they choose to go, what they choose to do, and who they choose to hang out with, okay? So even if you love people, even if you've known them, okay? Like for instance, I'm not saying cutting off your family is the best thing to do for people. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, okay? What I'm saying is I have a lot of NPD, like narcissistic personality disorder that runs in my family. Enter the empath, right? So it's a very toxic situation. I know how to keep my boundaries, but because I chose this, now God, right? The divine source creator, right? Which I feel is feminine energy, not masculine at all. So, but the point is this energy is protecting, is providing, is creating, is bringing back our soul family, our star family, okay? We chose to come to birth into these certain places and under these certain star signs, into these certain families for purposes. So we could learn, so we could have this earth school experience, so we could cash out the karma, the ancestral karma, and things like this that needed to happen so we can level up. Also, we're getting to level up. Like if you're not like the top of the top of the top of the cream of the crop, you ain't even here. You're not incarnated here. And if there's people that you feel like they're not really all that, but they're here, they're fucking non-players. Just so you know. You're gonna start to see. And the people that So the people that are actually these light warriors that are now like, okay, I'm holding this energy, right? I'm only doing it in divine union, right? Then what's happening is you're going to notice all the other people that have been taking on these other energies. What's happening is these lower frequencies and entities and parasitic things are hopping in and out, and they're driving those ships because those people aren't clean and clear on their mission, on their purpose. They're still processing in these fear states and these old frames and this old framework, this lower vibrational framework, and that's why they're stuck in these spaces. Okay? And what you'll start to notice is by the time as we get further into winter, you will start to notice maybe their hair will start to fall out, maybe their skin. So the people that have been harvesting the life force energy, the sex energy, that have been doing the magic and all of that stuff, they're going to start to look old. They're going to start to decay almost. You're going to realize that what they were doing is they were basically walking zombies. They're the living dead. Okay? Something you guys need to understand. I think that my audience is grown up enough here to understand that there is the zombie apocalypse. It's already happening. And when you're fucking soulless people that don't have character, that don't have moral credit, you're inviting those spirits and those energies and those entities and those parasites into your being. Like leeches. Like leeches. So we have to figure out how to break those, and that's how we break them, is by understanding where we're missing, right? Where the loop is repeating itself, where the ancestral loop is repeating itself, right? And that's how we have to do it. Yeah. So it's total psychological spiritual warfare. That's exactly what's happening. And so that's what's happening, is we're the light warriors that are here to bring on this love, this new era, KNEW, right? This remembrance to the collective consciousness. And as we're doing it, like, we're gonna notice that there's gonna be people that don't want to let it happen, okay? Not everybody wants you to win. You have to understand, and I don't want to, and not a negative Nancy, right? This isn't my perception. My perception is like everything's beautiful. Everybody means love. But my common sense also knows that the majority, like, there's only maybe 2% of the people that are your friends or your family that actually want you to win or do better. There's so many people that are only watching you, or only there pretending to be, because they want to see you fucking lose. And it's not me being, again, not me being a negative Nancy. I perceive everything and everyone that I allow in my space or in my surroundings as loving, as nurturing. And that's why I know that unless the person is high vibrational frequency, they're not even going to enter. They don't enter the dragon's lair. They don't enter the phoenix nest. They cannot. It's not possible. And so what's interesting this morning, you guys, actually, I was reading this Chinese, I was actually reading this Chinese story, this old folklore about the dragon, and we're awakening these earth dragons, and a lot of them is this deeply rooted feminine mystical energy, right? Like this old like Celtic medicine woman, like Pachamama, like this very, very ancient, right? And the dinosaur, like the dragon is like this dinosaur, like they've been here asleep for fucking so long. And so, like, I was reading this Chinese story this morning. I'm like, what was I talking about? I was reading the Chinese story. If you're new here, I have traumatic brain injury and a cavernoma. So sometimes I get a little bit off track, so you just got to stay with me here. So anyways, I was reading this Chinese story today, and it was about the dragon and the phoenix, and how they were the very sacred balance, this balance of yin and yang. What was interesting is actually, when I was reading the story, I thought it was interesting. No, just to throw it out there. I don't know why, but the dragon was also feminine energy as well as the phoenix. But maybe the phoenix, I don't exactly know how it works. But anyways, the point of the story is they were very sacred. And when they were in balance, when they were in this perfect flow together, that's what created the unity, right? Because one was the yin and the yang. And so the dragon, it was this power and this strength, this very intense thing, right? this yang energy, right? And it was balance and strength and fierceness. And the phoenix was, it was actually compassion. It was this love, this passion, this energy, like more of this heart space energy, more Kuan Yin energy. And I was like, oh, interesting. And so what had happened is, at some point in time, there was a, I don't know, maybe I'm like twisting things up, but I'm just going to channel what they're telling me to channel. So at some point in time, there was some type of cloaking spell or something like this. Something was hidden, and they had separated. They had separated these two, and what had happened is they kept feeling each other so much, and they kept trying to go back to the same spot where the other one was, but they were missing each other. They kept missing each other, and so it was causing this great imbalance in the world. And it was like this, what was the guy's name? It was like this Mu Ching, something like this. And he basically created this spell where all of these demons and all of these lower frequencies were coming in, and they were creating this distortion, right? They were creating this fear and this destruction and this raping and this whatever, all of this crazy shit. And they were creating this distortion. And so they were saying basically that in order for this to happen, because they kept going, and every time that the dragon would fly up, the phoenix would fly down, and they would miss each other, and they would think that the other one was gone forever, right? Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And finally, the emperor's daughter, Ling, something like this, right? She basically, it had to be someone of a pure heart, like of the purest heart, that could reunite them, that could figure out the way to reunite the dragon and the phoenix and bring them back together. And so she was pure, loving, compassionate, like always taking care of her people, and she really cared for the people. And because the emperor or the father, whatever, was sick, he couldn't do anything. So he let the daughter go. He reluctantly let the daughter go on this quest, right? She took the mother's sword, and she did all of this stuff. And so what she did is she went out on this mission, and she went through these crazy places to find the lair of the dragon, right? And she sat there, and the dragon was so like, no, I have become overtaken. There's this spell. There's this dark spell, and I've become overtaken by these demonic forces. There's no hope for me. There's no hope for me, right? No hope. Leave me be. And the princess says, no, I will not. Do you know, like, I will stay here. And I will fight for you. I will fight to help you to heal, to come back into your strength, to come back into your power, because this is my quest. And, you know, I'm not taking no, like I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm not leaving. Do you know, I'm not leaving, because the world, you know, and the dragon is just like, how dare you enter here when the world, you know, like I can't. And she's just like, I'm here for it. And so she's there. Oh my God, these smell so good. Like fresh apricots or like juicy peaches. My God, you guys. And so she's there for it. And so the dragon's like, all right, okay, I'm going to give her all these crazy tests. And so gives her all these crazy tests, right? And these are divine figures, right? The dragon and the phoenix. They're these holy divine deities, essentially, right? And gives her all these crazy tasks, and she fights them, right? She's the strength and the this and the that. And she fights all of these crazy tasks that are meant to happen, that the dragon was meant to do, or something like this. And as she does this, the dragon sees it and says, wow, okay. It awakens something within the dragon. But he's like, but it's still not gone. And she puts her hand on the dragon, and the scales and everything is all like crusty and coming off, you know, like not looking good, going down, quickly declining. And she puts the hand onto the dragon. And the faith or the love or the trust, whatever it was, right? I have like very bad short-term memory, but I'm surprised I can even get all of this out to you. But this basically creates like a shimmer effect. Do you know? Like, and it's like this ripple goes across all of his scales, and it's like this light, this radiant light. And it's like what happened was this other person's belief in the what do you call it? Not oddity, not parody. In the prophecy, their actual belief in this dragon and in this fucking prophecy, the faith, the sheer faith in even somebody that had none within themselves, is what awoken, is what cleared all of this black magic, all of this demonic, parasitic shit off of it. And it cleared them of all of these entities. And the dragon was like, and it was like fucking awake. It's just like, you saved me. And it was like, no, you saved yourself. It was like, no, your belief in me. It's like, what's that? How's that saying go? There's this old saying that goes, if you could see yourself through my eyes, you wouldn't feel the same. Do you know, like, if you could see how amazing you were through somebody else's perception or perspective, like while you're over here being human saying, I'm not perfect, or I didn't do this, or I should feel bad because I didn't accomplish something and that's what other people told me I should have done because I don't live up to other people's expectations. I do what I do when I do it. That's how I do it. That's how we do. You know, there is no rush. That, again, time is a human construct. I mean, yes, there's certain things that need to come into play. There's certain astrological, okay, let me not go far out on that, but there is certain things. But the reality is yes, time is infinite, okay, on this level, but your mission here and to do certain things and to connect with certain people, and like when you've been put these different people, right? You finally figure that out. Oh, the beginning of the story. So the beginning of the story was every time the phoenix would try to approach the dragon, right? The dragon would be scared. God, I almost burned my finger. Almost burnt myself, but I didn't. And so it would freak out the dragon, and then because the dragon was so like in its cave, and I'm protective, and I'm dragon, and I'm masculine energy, right? This yang energy. Every time the phoenix would come down and be this beautiful thing, or I guess this is how the phoenix became the bird of flames, right? The dragon fucking used its fire, whoosh, and it scorched this beautiful phoenix. It scorched it completely. And it scorched it, and the phoenix would turn into these ashes, and it would rise, and it would fly away. And the dragon's like, what the fuck? Like, why does it keep coming back to me, right? Why does it keep coming back? And so actually what happened is the dragon decided at some point in time, I don't know if there was another character or something that came up to it, or a spirit or an entity or deity, something like this, and asked it why it was so cruel to something so beautiful. All the thing was doing was being beautiful. All it did was came to share its beauty. And you scorched it. And so, basically after time, the dragon decided, you know what? After all these times that it came down and it was always like very defensive, it finally decided that the next time it comes down, I'm going to see what it wants. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to see what it wants. Because maybe it wants to be my friend or something, right? I don't know. Because there was a spell. And so it forgotten this soul retrieval, the remembrance of what they were supposed to be doing together, right? This is very indicative of the divine union, divine masculine and feminine coming into play. And so then it waited and it waited and it waited. And it never crossed paths, and the phoenix forgot. Right? The phoenix forgot where. And then when it remembered, it would go down and the dragon would come up, and they would just keep missing each other. Right? They would just keep missing each other. And that's why I finally said, fuck this shit. Someone's here and they need to meet me. I'm going to stop running around trying to find you, because I found you and I was there and you walked the fuck away from me. The fuck? You walked away from me. So now I'm going to sit here, and when your ass walks back, coming back, then I know that it wasn't coincidental. I know it wasn't incidental. I know it was transitional. I know it's transcendental. It's this next level of something we don't even know, right? It's transitioning into something beyond our ability to even comprehend. And so this is what happened. So she said, okay, fine, let's go. We'll go to the land, and we'll get the phoenix now. Get the phoenix. And the phoenix, when it got there, of course, the phoenix is very protected. The phoenix is like, whoa. I don't know who you are. That's cool. You brought the dragon back or whatever, but like, you're going to have to you got to earn the sacred flame. Okay? You can't just get the sacred flame, because every time I tried to give him the sacred flame before, it wasn't good. It didn't turn out good. He burnt me. Okay? And so what happened is the girl says, okay, I know that these tests are going to be way more intense, right? And they gave her these tests. It was like going and meditating in this volcano. It was like crazy shit, right? Crazy. She knew it was going to be more intense. And then it was like the final thing was to give up something, right? To give up something, to give up like a self-sacrifice, right? But not self-sacrifice, but to sacrifice something that. And so as the princess was sitting there in the meditation, she had this vision. They showed her this vision, and the vision was of her father, the emperor, right? And her father was in this bed, right? In this bed, sick, calling for her to come back. Please come back. I need you to be with me. Be here with me. Be by my side. Be with me. And she felt this pain in her heart. She was like, man, I want to be there. But if I leave now, then the whole world, do you know? I have this bigger mission. That the entire balance of the entire world is counting on me right now. So even though I love you and I want to be there for you, and I don't want you to not be there without me, like, the whole world is relying on me right now, Dad. Yeah. She said, I send my love and my blessings, and my prayer. And at that moment, the phoenix came down and appeared, right? And said, okay, you've passed the final test, right? Because you're still willing, even if it's going to cost you your life, even if it's going to cost you the life of people that you care, you still know, right? And this is like the greatest thing, right? Like this is like in so many stories, right? In every religion, I'm pretty sure there's a story. I know that the Abraham and Isaac story, right? This is one of the most commonly used ones, right? And I know, like, and I learned this when I was in Java. I learned that they still represent this in Muslim culture as well. So it's like God asked him, you have to go here, you have to do this, you have to do that. And when he got to the mountain, he was like, but I don't have anything to sacrifice. He needs to tell him, you need to make a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is going to be your son. And he was like, I can't do it, right? And God was like, listen, I need to know whose team you on. Whose team you on, because I'm more powerful. I can technically save anybody and anything that you want, that's important to you, that you say needs saving, can be saved. But you have to be committed, right? You have to be loyal and committed. And okay, for some, there can be some people that are going to be getting committed. Take it as it resonates, to whatever it resonates to. But it's like they have to show the commitment, right? Commitment. Like I get on here literally every day and give the message for an hour plus every day, transmuting energies, frequencies, messages that they're asking me to share with the collective. Why? Because when I listen to my angels and my ancestors and my guides, they provide me what I need. When I question them and when I listen to other people and other people's fears and this and that and oh my God, you know, it changes everything. And that's the reality. Is it's like I could be in fear, right? I could be in fear, but that doesn't get me anywhere. You know, it's like my grandfather used to say, stress or fear is like a rocking chair, right? It'll give you something to do, but you just keep going back and forth on it forever until you decide to get up out of the chair, get your ass out of the chair. So it's like worry, excuse me. So it's like be disgusted in yourself, right? And this is like, they're laughing. I'm laughing at it. But be disgusted with yourself, right? Of you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So if you know that something, if you know somebody or something is or isn't for you, then stop going back and forth. Stop going back and forth. Take action towards what you know is yours. What you know is not, don't, right? And that's where it goes back to breaking the loop, to the pattern disrupt. I was like, listen, this person isn't a bad person, maybe. Now I understand they're actually neither here nor there. In the end of the day, I saw where the pattern was and had to pattern disrupt. And when I pattern disrupt and dealt with myself instead of all of the things that the other people around me were saying and all of this other stuff, then everything was good for me. So it's like you have to choose. Do you know? It's like what your parents say, you know, like hey, like if everybody was jumping off a bridge, would you do it? You know, I was the kid that was like, well, it depends. How deep is the water? Like, are they jumping off like because we're making a big leap? Or my mother always fucking hated it. You know, she'd be like, get your ass out of this room. And I would just be like, still talking and move my ass out of the door. And the rest of yourself, you know, like very, because I'm an old soul, maybe things are more literal. Like I take things in more of the literal sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the bridge. You're the bridge. And that's basically, boom. So it's like, whenever you're feeling disconnected, right? Some people like to do breath work and some people like to do all these other things. Like, you can do this. You can fast. And it doesn't mean like, okay, sometimes we're fasting from eating. Sometimes we're fasting from, like right now, I'm fasting from social media, right? We can fast from people, from places, from situations. And as we do that, as we clear our field more, we're understand what is more clear to us, right? Like years ago, like I was a captain, I had multiple boats, but I had a sailboat. And that's what I did is I went into the fucking ocean where there was nothing except for the water, except for the nature, to get clear, to cut out all the exterior noise. And so something that is very strong in the collective right now is everybody needs to be focused mainly on their self-improvement right now. Scorpio energy is really about that. It's getting in the depths, and with all this water energy, hold on, I can't read it. I have to go closer. With all this water energy, we have to understand that Scorpio, right? Scorpio is a water sign, Okay, Scorpio is a sign of transformation. Scorpio is dealing with the planet Mars, which is action, and Pluto, which is the underworld. So it's like we're gonna go to the depths of all of our shadows, of all of the bullshit, of everything we've been hiding. Okay, Scorpio is also karmic lessons and contracts and closeouts. Okay, so what are we still emotionally attached to that is no longer serving us, right? For me, I realized it was this very intense. I realized that my addiction was actually in this other form. So when I said, okay, I'm just gonna fucking cut that off. Anything that I found myself, so I know that I'm not normal to every other person. But anytime, like ever since I was a teenager, when I realized that I was really like addicted to cigarettes, I was like, motherfucker, this has got a hold on me. It's got a hold on me. I was like, ooh, I don't like this. And that's when I started doing my own personal, like, testing, right? Like the same as I do like social experimentation, like I do it for myself too. And so I would do personal testing of like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can go every day, like not smoking in the car, not doing, you know, like I would start to be like, okay, like, you know, when you're working on a project and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna stop to take a break or to eat or to go to the bathroom until I finish this last fucking thing, whatever, like it's an artist thing. But I started doing this to myself. It was like, I will never let any substance or anything like this have control over me, right? I saw a lot of people that had really bad addictions and stuff when I was very young. And so I made sure that this is something that I wasn't going to allow. And so anytime I noticed that something was acting like an addiction, that I was feeling addicted to something, I would just deprive myself of it. And see if after a day, an hour, a week, whatever the fuck it was, whatever felt right. Of course, I'm a very intuitive creature and it's different for everybody, but whatever felt right. And I would deprive myself from whatever it was to see, do I really need it? Is it really affecting me? Is it this? Is it that? Like, what's going on? Right? Like, I was like, okay, if I deprive myself of social media, right? Will I be able to do a lot more things because I'm like spending hours a day like looking at things? And it's like, I don't know, like now I just want to rest more. So like, I don't know that it is or isn't, but what I do know is that if I can deprive myself of something, our mind, right? Mind over matter. Okay? Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Okay? This very famous Dr. Seuss quote, but mind over matter. So when you realize, that fasting, okay, or deprivation, depriving yourself of anything, whether that's food, sleep, sex, anything that you like. When you start to deprive yourself of this, then you're in control. Now the lower frequency, the third density being is no longer in control. This lower parasitic vampiric being is not in control, because it's like, imagine a parasite, right? Imagine a parasite. A parasite feeds. So when I was having like these spiritual parasites, I was like, fuck this, I'm fasting. I'm not eating this shit. I'm not like whatever. But my water had to be pure. Like everything had to be super pure and clear. Like I had to know everything was super fucking everything. And I wasn't eating a lot because I was like, fuck, I have to starve this parasite. And this is where people fuck up, right? Because they're just like, oh, I'm doing this diet, but I cheat every day. So it's like you're actually not doing it. Because what you're doing is, the only point of it is the deprivation, to see how your body is reacting. It's the same as when they put you on or off medication. They're like, okay, we're going to wean you on it or wean you off of it. That's allowing your body to not go into the shock. Now, what I like to do is let the body go into shock and fucking experience it. Now, I have so much Scorpio in my chart. I'm a fucking weirdo, but I like the body and the mind and soul to go into shock. Why? Because when something is more intense, when something is painful, that's when it creates a memory, which means it will stand out more, which means you won't do it again. That's how you break the pattern fucking recognition. You know, it's science. That's science. But basically, like, that's what it is, right? Is you're using, like, I do it all the time. I try to trick my brain, especially since having very traumatic stuff and then traumatic brain injury and other neurological things. I try to trick my brain. I don't try. I trick my brain. Well, I will say I try to trick my brain all the time because I do it, but it doesn't always work, right? Like the other day, I was like, okay, I'm going to leave my motorbike parked outside because I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to get this thing. And it sat outside for like 3 days, but I was like, I initially left it outside, not just to do that because I was like, oh, it's going to rain. And the guy was like, let me wash down your bike. And I was like, oh, I'll just let it in the rain. Like everything, like nature provides everything. Like we don't have to work so hard to do things sometimes. And the guy was laughing at me and they're just like, it's really sunny. And I was like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And then I fucking like came inside and like a few hours later it started raining and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like where did this crazy storm come from? And I'm just like, well, that was just the divine helping me wash the bike because I left it outside. But then I tried to leave it outside for another day or two to be like, well, I'll go and do this thing. I ended up bringing it inside. But so it doesn't work always with everything, right? You have to have a want or a motivation, right? And this is why, even though we can want to help people or we can want to heal people, this is why I stopped doing healing work. And this last partnership, whatever situation that I had is like just another remembrance of why we don't do, why you should never do free energetic work. It needs to be exchanged to some extent. Because otherwise what happens is if people don't, if you just give something to them, they don't value it. People value what they have to pay for. People value what they have to work for because this is the old way the brain or the system has been programmed through the patriarchal systematical of events that taught us to be however the fuck society is, right? I don't know. I can just kind of speak on it. It starts to get me irritated because I don't operate in that type of frequency. So it's like frustrating to me. But anyways, it's beside the point. The point is you can't want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves, right? Like I can want this person to heal and I can give them all the healing and all, I can give it all to them. But it doesn't make any difference. If they don't give a fuck, they're never going to move forward. Like I can have all the love, I can do all the manifestation and be like, yes, oh, my amazing, perfect person is coming and la 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 la. But if that person that has been orchestrated by the divine hasn't done their work, then they can't come into the physical alignment, right? And like that's exactly what happened with the dragon and the phoenix. Until the work was done, until the dragon got out of that space of, I've been overtaken by the depths of this evilness. Because that was what he decided. That is what somebody told them, and then that's what they bought, right? And so this is a lot of the programming, the deprogramming, and this is something that I also do sessions for people with too, right? Again, because what happens is, it's like our brain is like a computer, right? Our brain is like Imagine. And so when we're running an old program, some programs we run unconsciously, right? Like walking, brushing our teeth, like saying thank you or please. Like if they were programmed into us small, then they make sense. Then these programs are constantly running and they make sense to us, right? Because it's just like they're unconscious programs. Now when we're more conscious of the programs that are running, right, then we're starting to actually tap into subconscious. And when we're in these states of channeling, of theta waves, of others like this, clear and conscious, connected to source, then what's happening is we're allowing for all of the help and everything to keep coming into us, right? To come forth. We're allowing for all these pathways and these things to start creating themselves. We don't have to know, like, so when I manifested my boat, right? I manifested boats, several of them. Now, I manifested my boat. I knew exactly the type of boat, okay? The length, the maker, the location, right? Because I was specific. It came in like this. but because I also was not letting anybody else's exterior fucking noise rain on my parade. Okay? I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. You want to rain on my parade? Great. Bitch, I make parasols. I make waterproof parasols. What you want? Don't rain on my parade. And if you do, I got that. This one's actually really cool. These are waterproof. They're like this very special material. And then I hand paint on them. And this one's dope. This one's like the space. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. It's like a spiral space. So anyways, if you are new here, I'm Zoe. Welcome to my show. This is DivinityWithinThee. Welcome to my channel. We take time to get in touch with the divine. I make things and sell them and trade them and do all kinds of stuff. I am open to bartering and trading for energetic work and exchanges and things like that. Normally in the beginning, I always am showing everything. Today, I am loving this green, you guys, and I know every time I just go in and I'm like, I'm gonna just put the mascara. But as I sit and I do the eyebrows, right? As I start to do the, and I have this beautiful color palette, I'm like, oh, I can't help it. So today I did this. It's like a little Tinkerbell color because I make awesome bamboo clothing. Okay, this is one. You can wear this both ways. Okay, it's like a round neck at the back. Okay, and this is a guy or a girl. It's V-neck. Okay, this is actually backwards, but you can wear it either way. I just felt like more Tinkerbellish today. Okay, this is like my little Peter Pan Tinkerbell type dress. That's why I went for this nice light Tinkerbell color on here, even though I didn't need it. But yes, so I make clothing, organic, sustainable, closed loop, slow fashion clothing for the new era. Okay, guys? You are the bridge. Yes, we are the bridge between worlds, right? We are the naive and innocent, but we aren't stupid. You know, there's something very interesting, right? As pure hearts, as you're saying, pure heart souls. Oh, I love you too. Smoochy boochies. But as we have these pure hearts and these pure souls, the reality of this is like the way that we see things is completely different, right? The way that we perceive things is not the same. So for instance, I was having this conversation and it was like, why do people lie? I don't understand. You know, like now I understand like, okay, maybe if there's some little thing you have to be like, okay, to maybe your boss or your landlord or I don't know what, you know, something like this, okay? That's different. Like that's different. But people that are consistently creating lies, like they're going to start noticing all of these things collapsing around them right now because they're not able to. And so the reality of the situation is I spent so long I'm basically like the truth teller, right? I'm the truth teller. And so maybe it hasn't gotten me a lot of fucking friends, but the friends that I do have are quality people. And the reality of the situation is people that are always telling the truth can't understand, like I can't wrap my head around how much extra work and energy it must be to have to maintain lies, to have to tell one person this and one person that and one person that, like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? I have to remember if I'd left my tea cooking or not. I don't need to remember fucking fictional stories that I created to make someone else feel better or worse or not, or like, we don't exist. As you're getting to 4th, 5th, 6th density, as you're getting to higher densities, this type of energy doesn't exist. It's like, out of love, I'm going to tell you, you're being stupid. Out of love, I'm going to say, I love you, but fuck you. You know, like out of love, like comes many things, right? Source creation itself. God is love. But you have to know that when you are not loving yourself, when you are not engaging with loving people, loving behaviors, loving soul mission, soul guided contracts that you signed to come down here to do,
that the love is going to look a little bit different. What is going to come in your direction is maybe somebody that's going to make you get clean or get sober. Maybe it's someone that's going to make you be better. Maybe it's someone that's going to make you feel worse about yourself so you can really step into the truth of your whole being, of your worthiness, right? Like that was the biggest lesson that I learned from my ex is like, wow, this person was so conceited that I let them break down my fucking worthiness. And I've been allowing other people to do that, to not allow me to shine. When I am the entire fucking blueprint. But that is just so you can understand the conception of what is going on with this spiritual warfare. That is what's going on. Okay, so if you're an empath or you're a highly sensitive person or anything like this, you're going to have a rougher mission, okay? Because we're here because we are the change makers, right? And if you're older like me, if you're Generation X, Indigo, something like this, then you understand that the dark empaths, that the indigos, that all of this is like, we're the ones that are breaking the trail for all the next, for the fucking rainbow and all the other people to come in and just have this easy, we just get to be love and everything comes to us and we get AI. We don't actually have to learn how to do anything, like, because we've already done all the fucking heavy lifting. That's why we're fucking badass, right? We're the last generation between the analog and the digital. We were the people that were left outside to our own devices. Like, we didn't wear seat belts. We didn't fucking... There wasn't, like, warning labels. Like, that wasn't a thing. It was like, oh, good. You hurt yourself? Go rinse it off. Slap a Band-Aid on it. Stop crying. No crying in baseball. You know, it's like all this shit. Like, but these are old constructs. These are old ways. So, like... As I was reading this story, I started crying this dragon in Phoenix. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the ancient divine union story of like the masculine energy being like, but I've done so many bad things. Like I'm unworthy. That's what I'm really getting. Is this unworthiness. And that's why I was telling you guys the other day, like a really good mantra to say every morning, I am worthy. I am worthy of this life. I am worthy of this light. I am worthy of this love. I am worthy of abundance. I'm worthy. Okay? Like this is a very good thing to say, right? If there's a lot of people that are causing you problems when you're in a situation where there's a lot of people around you. So when I was on my boat and I used to go, like I was super pirate, obviously. I'm making art and stuff and running everything off of solar power. And I'm just like crazy collecting things and making art with them on the back of my boat. Like a hammock and a mannequin. And I had my aerial hoop hanging from a jib line when I would. And so people would always just be like side-eyeing the fuck out of me. Like scoffing, like... This bitch, like, don't you understand that to have a yacht, you need to be more yacht-like? And I'm just like, yacht-like, I'm pretty sure my yacht is a yacht. I'm pretty sure it's like anything over 25 or 26 feet, 25 feet. Anything above 25 feet, I think is considered a yacht, technically speaking, just so you guys know. So anyways, my friend made this joke and he named me Little Yachty. And so anyways, they would always just be like, because I was just like fucking whatever. I was like hippie pirate. They were not trying to have that in their fucking fancy ass pinkies out shit. And so every day I would get up and I would just be like, oh, they're not going to like my rap music today, or they're not going to like the vibe that I'm feeling, or they're not going to like, and I would just be like, wake up, Captain, you're Captain. You actually know how to sail your boat. You don't have someone else that you paid to do it. You aren't using your motor. You actually are legitimate, and fuck people. And so my daily mantra on my boat, because there was so much exterior constantly coming down, so much judgment. And I'm just like, fuck people. So that became my daily mantra. Fuck people. And not like in a bad way, not like, you know, but it became my daily mantra. And it's what made me so fucking badass, because what I did is I basically created this mantra that just fucking deflected people's negativity. It's like ding, 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 ding. Like I created this deflective bubble. I'd be like, oh, I have to roll. I have to get up super early to row in the shore to go poop because I didn't have a bathroom on my boat. Because I realized there was so many other problems I would have to get into harbors and do all these other things by having the plumbing. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just fucking take it out. Now you can't fucking even be mad about it. You can't come onto my boat and test my shit. You can't do nothing. I just row to shore every morning. And I get up and people be like, you know, and I'd be like, fuck people. I don't care. I don't care if I have to take a shower over there. I don't care if I do my laundry there. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I got fucking strong. Like, that's why I know my arms are weak right now. Like, I was fucking a boss, bro. I could row faster on a little tiny, I had a little kid's sailboat that I had as a rowboat, a little skiff, a little, what do you call it? A little sabot, right? And they put like, you see like the little kids in the little boat. Anyways, I had this. And I would just fucking row like faster than the harbor department or whatever, like faster than they were even allowed to go in the harbors. I would just be like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and the rowing was really beautiful because it's opening here, heart openers. So if you're having blocked like heart chakra, do butterflies, do swimming, do rowing, something like this to really open and engage your chest space. But that's what I would do. I'd just be like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm a boss. I'm strong. And because I would do that and be like, fuck people, fuck people, fuck people. Nobody can fuck with me. I mean, they were consistently fucking with me, but like it wasn't getting to my mental. Do you understand? Like they were really going at it. But they, like, all it did, like, every time they did something, every time they stole something, every time they did this, like, I just learned more federal maritime and admiralty law. I learned how to go back to the court and get that shit wiped out. Like, I just learned more. And so it's, again, as we started in the conversation, perception and projection, right? So, like, it was my choice to be like, these people are fucking me up. And I'm like, all right, these people are fucking me up. I'm going to be a pirate back. Like, I'm the peaceful pirate, but I'm going to get you back. But it's not gonna be like how you expected it. Like that slap back is gonna clap back for sure. And so basically, like that's what I would do. I never did anything. I was never hurting anybody else, but like I would always just end up like getting the person who wrote me the ticket, like they would end up getting in trouble or whatever because the ticket wasn't valid. And I would go to court and I would do all the bullshit. But then I would just be like, all right, cool. I know my law. And then I just became more knowledgeable than them. It's just like, I have nothing else to do. You're going to leave me alone out here? I'm on a boat in the middle of the ocean. I'm just going to learn and learn and learn and read more and more and more. And so then I was studying to become a master captain because I was like, fuck this. Because I realized that the law of the water is above the law of the land. So actually the cops have no jurisdiction over captains. What? Yes, real story. So anyways, let me go see what you're saying. Yes, heart chakra. That's why I was like, I've been feeling all this green lately. And I was like, people are going to think that I never wash my face or change my eyebrows. But then I was like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck people. I have to remind myself. Anytime I let exterior judgment creep in, I just give my mantra, fuck people. And then I don't like allow people to do it. But yeah, that's what I was feeling too, heart chakra. I'm like, I'm feeling a lot of this green, right? Someone told me green was greed. And I was like, again, this is a wrong, people are just giving wrong labels, right? Like who was that, what do you call it? The terrorist group. And they named it ISIS. And I was like, this is so, because they don't want the goddess to be, they want to defile everything that was fucking sacred. And that's what they've been doing for thousands of years. And now it's not going to happen anymore. So anybody that's been participating or paying for or having businesses or anything like this and these type of lower frequencies of anything where any women or men are defiling women or temples, they're going to get cut. They're going to get committed. Blueprint, ancient soul gang. That's right. We are the blueprint. Fuck people. Yeah, let's go for sure. Let's go. Yeah, we're not new. We are frontline. We've been being out here since been. We are the human beings, and all these other motherfuckers out here like the human doings, and we're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, we've been done doing some things, but what are you doing? Like, they're like, oh no, we didn't like that. That hurt, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Acting like a little bitch. No, for real though, that's what I feel like a lot. There's like so much bitch ass, and I don't mean like I'm bitch. There is a lot of that, but they're like bitch, like they're being little bitches. You know, it's like, bro, do you know? Do you even know what we had to deal with? Do you even know what it's like to have to go home and wait by the phone for someone to call that was attached to a cord on the wall? Like, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know what it's like to wait 30 minutes to try to get your dial-up internet to send a fucking message to somebody or check your email, and then someone calls and a bunch, shut up. You don't know. You have no idea. And then I feel like, you know, again, it's like the ancestors being like, you know, I walked 10 miles in the snow both ways, uphill, no shoes, whatever. Like, but this is like the real shit, right? Like, we did all the work, bitch. We did all the work. Just stop being all fucking hermit on your video games and come out and be in the real world, right? This is the real world, fucking 2.0 or some shit. Yeah, and again, this is the matrix, right? You have to understand, like, are we stuck in the system or are we outside of the system? And the more that we feed the collective conscious thought that the system, that we own the system, or that the system fucking owns us, the more it becomes a problem for not just for everybody. And so that's why I'm just like, fuck this. I'm happy. My hermit ass will be a hermit ass so quick, like, beep, removal, right? And I saw, since I've been on here, 2 people popped up to give me messages, right? 2 people popped up, and I'm like, okay, cool. And this is after I said, the people that have no ill will towards you, the universe will it's like the doors. It's like the shiny gates. That's like where we're at. Okay, we're at this point of the shiny gates. It's like there's not going to be like weighing the heart to the feather, but kind of. It's like, do you have a good heart? Like, where's your intention? You can just be like, well, I never intended to hurt everybody, but everything I did was actually destroying everybody's life, like, around me. Then that's where your intention doesn't really hold the same type of weight. Might actually be it. But my intention is like, it doesn't matter what your intention was. This is the reality, and this is the outcome, and this is the reality. So, you know? Fucking yeah, you know, AOL. You remember when messaging, before we were fucking text messaging on a phone? Fool, you remember that? Remember that? You remember pager codes? Remember that shit? Damn. Remember that shit? Pager codes. My pager code was 203 for Zoe. ZOE for Zoe. Bitch, like, that shit, like, that's how we started messaging, okay? If you guys are new kids out here, new kids on the block, we used to have to go to dial-up internet, so you used to have a phone line that was available, right? And then it would be like, dial up, call to the fucking server. Sometimes it would take 5 minutes, sometimes it would take 25 minutes, and then it would occupy that line. And if you didn't have fucking call waiting, or if you didn't have the right service with the right call waiting, 30 minutes. Then when somebody else called when you finally got online, you're like, I fucking finally got online. It took forever. And you're like, okay, I'm going to send the message. And you get on the AOL Messenger, I'm going to send the message. And you get on there, and then somebody fucking calls, and it's like, bink, and it bounces you off, and you're just like, fuck, no internet. Like, And that is like, you can't say, it didn't like, you didn't like turn the phone back on and it's like, here's your last message. You still want to send it? Like, that shit didn't exist. That shit didn't exist. Spell check didn't exist, bro. Like, that shit didn't exist. We had to actually proofread shit. You had to know shit. You had to be knowing some stuff. Fucking Dewey Decimal System and shit, bro. Like, no. Don't talk with me. Yeah, this is the new age, and that's why I call it the new age. K-N-E-W, right? K-N-E-W. It's new, but not new. It's a series of remembrance. Life is a series of remembrance, right? Like, that's what it is. So the quicker you start to remember where the pattern loop and the recognition and the whatever, let's see what the tarot has to say today, not just me. Okay, what are you saying? Virgo, you Virgo. I'm Scorpio. I'm like a triple, almost quadruple Scorpio. But I do have a Virgo moon, and my Venus is also in Virgo, so I'm very specific. I got a lot of that. A lot of Virgo energy where it makes it very complicated, so my love. My loves have to be very, very specific. So, La Luna, the moon. La moon, la luna. Snap back. And this is the tarot of the origins. I don't know why I was just trying to put it away, but it wants to talk to us. Hold on, I have to get. You know what's interesting is like all these languages that are in here, I actually can kind of read them. So, but I have to know to speak the same language that I'm speaking here. The moon. Where are we? The moon, the star which regulates feminine nature, represents magic, spirituality, surprises, and a positive female figure. Okay? So what I'm hearing is a lot, when the masculine energy submits to a feminine energy that maybe they thought before was too motherly or something else, maybe they were not trusting, okay? Maybe they weren't trusting collective. Maybe they weren't trusting this. They weren't doing that. And so when they weren't doing that, they were basically second guessing collective's like spirituality, okay? And that didn't work out too good for them. Let me just tell you that much. That didn't work out too good for them. So we have the moon, we have the magician, and then we have the animal of soul. So the magician, some of you can be getting flowers. For some, you may have flower petal. Oh, for some, it's divine union. Ooh, I may after I do these, I'm gonna hop off and do a love reading. But flowers, smelling sweet. For many, you are like a flower. The divine masculine feels like you're like a flower, and they don't know what to do because they pick you, but they don't want to pick you. What? It's like you can pick your friend, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck. What? They pick you, but they don't want to pick you. Okay, so like they choose. I choose you. Okay, so they choose you, but they don't want to pluck you. They want to allow you to keep growing, I guess would be the, like it's not time to prune the garden or what? What does that mean? My guides are so funny. I have so many different ones that is coming in all the time. Sorry, especially for the, okay, I don't have much longer here. My phone's gonna die. The magician, the symbol of knowledge, represents will, learning, the power of instruction, the strength of the soul. So, again, so this is like something that's actually going on right now. So this is something that we're talking about. All the water energy. The moon is a representatory of our emotions, our emotional state. And the magician is representatory of us having the inner power to actually manipulate what's going on, right? Our perception, our projection, like we're in control. We are the magician, right? Once we've moved past the state of being the fool. But in order to do that, we actually have to face the fear. right? And that's what the Fool is a fool is not just a fool. It's like he's understanding where his fears were causing his foolishness, were preventing him from being able to step into the magician. For some, you can be musicians. I hear the birds chirping too. But to step in, to fly, to catch that next level, is when you realize what mental construct, what fool, right? What man-made construct was keeping you out of this higher divine being, this magician, right? And then we have the 12. The animal with soul. Now this deck is different. This is the Tarot of the Origins. It's really old. It's a little bit different. A man following the tracks of a rhinoceros. So supervision. Okay. For some of you guys, you are being, now take it as it resonates. Okay, there's multiple things that are going on here. For many of us, because we are stepping into this position, right, into this magician or this high priestess, it's actually more of like the Hierophant position, if you want my honest opinion. Uranus just went into Taurus, okay, and this is like this very interesting energy, and it's like this. Uranus is very like fucking out of nowhere energy, chaotic energy. And so, and Taurus is like the safe place, right? The safe structure, they like their foods and they like all of the things. They're very gluttonous, okay? Tauruses are very gluttonous when it comes to all of the pleasures in life. Let's just put it that way. They're over pleasure inducers. So it's like, I want more food, I want more sleep, I want more sex, I want more, they're very lustful, very gluttonous. And so with Uranus being in that, it's like what we're realizing, and with Venus being in Scorpio, and with us being in the sun of Scorpio, what we're realizing is that the emotional state, the emotional or physical, sexual gluttony, whatever that we've been having, that we've been experiencing, that has been a constant source of draw in the collective, is now being removed. So, yeah, people before were using this abandonment. So what was going on is, in the collective, okay, people, bad, lower, demonic, parasitic entities and things like this, right? They were coming in, and what they were doing is they were actually, what they are doing and have been doing, what they were doing, depending on which point of the story you're in, okay? Take what resonates, leave what does not. So what they were doing is they were coming in and they were attacking the emotional state. They were knowing that the collective needs to heal a lot of things. They know that there is abandonment wounds, okay? Especially abandonment wounds and trauma healing, okay? Especially people telling them, okay? Especially people that they cared about them, taking actions and words and telling them that they're not good enough and keeping them in this mental construct, right? Keeping them in this, you're not good enough, you have to keep healing, you're not well, in this like sick boy mentality of you missed your opportunity because you're too sick, because you're not mentally well, because you don't have what it takes, right? And so they try to create this. They tried to make you miss your opportunity by saying that you were not mentally stable, that you needed to heal, right? And they tried to actually make you lose your place, okay? Which is actually funny because this motherfucker keeps saying that the landlord's gonna come and fucking kick me out, and I'm just like, bitch. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Not in my fucking reality. Been hearing that shit for 3 months. I've been like waiting. I'm like, bring a motherfucker over here. So I know who to pay, because I know that paying this motherfucker ain't going the right way. He's over here with fucking hookers and trannies and blow. You know, it is fucking place of fucking business. It's fucking work associates paying for the fucking hookers and getting him to be one. Weird. Weird. Okay? And where this might seem a little intense, now my friend was like, oh, it's intense that you talk about that. Like, just so you guys understand, I live in Indonesia. I live in Bali, Indonesia. Okay? Indonesia is like 15,000 plus islands. But Indonesia is a Muslim predominant country. Okay? So, drugs are a federal offense. Like, there is no strip clubs. There is no prostitution. This is not this. We are in a Muslim country. Okay? Most women wear fucking full darkas and shit. Not most, but a lot. Okay? They're not allowed to do things without their fucking, with their man or their brother or their daddy or something, like taking them somewhere. They're not allowed to have businesses. They're not allowed to fucking wear certain, do you know, like, so if they're doing these types of actions, just so I can clear it up, because a lot of people have fucking made comments to me privately about this, that I'm making a big deal. And I'm like, listen, I bartended in strip clubs. Like, I made good money. I wasn't a stripper. I was a bartender. But I made good money because I knew that that's where men were stupid. Blow all their fucking money. And that's where the imbalance in the system is really coming down, because all the wives that are there, that are in there, that are raising, like, that are raising families and taking care of everything, while men are out there fucking paying for fucking foot fetish, for fucking cars and apartments and fucking handbags and all this shit, while the wife is there birthing the kids, doing all the fucking work and taking all the bullshit. Like, no, all of this shit is changing. The sex work industry, like, that's gonna be, it's not gonna be a thing. Like, all of these things are not gonna be a thing anymore, because they can't exist where divinity exists. They're not allowed to. And this is where I come back to the divine beings, right? Okay, this is why I have the universe tattooed here. It's got my back, it's got my ass, right? These are the guardians, okay? I also make the bamboo underwear, you guys. This is the thong style, okay? This is the sandy beach color. But anyways, the guardians here, okay? We have the Leo, the Taurus, the Scorpio, and the Aquarius. Why are they the guardians? Because they're the fixed signs. What does that mean? They set universal order, and they withhold it. They uphold universal divine order and law. That is what the guardians of the galaxy, the guardians of the universe do. Okay? That's why they're here. Okay? That's why they're here. That's what they're guarding. So when we change, so what has been going on all this time, the patriarchy and all this fucking defiling of the feminine, burning of the witches and all of this fucking, all of that, all of it, rinse out. Rinse out. We're doing a full spiritual cleansing. This isn't a joke. Like, this isn't a joke. And so these people are going to start to literally, you will see them start to wither. They'll start to look soulless. You'll see them. Their skin will start to fucking rot. Like, keep an eye out. Look in people's eyes. See who you're really dealing with. It's a thing. Okay? Stay out. Don't take, like, for me, I live in this place. What are you saying? Balance is needed. Discipline. Yeah, discipline. So this is the number one thing, right? The spirit needs food. So yeah, just having that redundant, just every day. Like, you have to, that's it. It's like the same thing. If you're going to work out, you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to go for a walk every day. Like, you got to do it. Like, balance is needed. What are you saying here? Damn, flesh. Yeah. Well, got the tea. Got the tea, bitch. We got the tea. Yeah, I'm out here. And I love to be out here because I fucking wish. I wish. But The reality of the situation is like I'm out here because I can really tap into all of the spirits and the ancestors and the deities because they're out here doing all of this. They're out here and they love to be with me. So I know like my space is protected, and that's why I'm just like, nope. Like if masculine needs to come, they can fucking come to where I'm at, to where I'm safe and protected. Now for a lot, that is something that masculine is doing, is they're maintaining the exterior protection. Okay? So 12, some of us are manifesting protection. Some of us have manifested protection because the 1 and 2 is 3. Okay? For some, this is spiritual protection. So if you're higher, if you're indigo, light, sea, anything like this, you're having the exterior protection. Okay? But you also have to believe. So like, as I healed myself through a lot of stuff out here, I went to some Bali magic healers, and the reality of the situation is you have to believe, right? You can't just be like, all right, like I went in there like not able to walk or stand or lay or sit, and I went out like not having to walk on a cane or be carried, you know, like in an hour with this person. Like you have to believe. And so this is basically what Divine is saying. What do you believe? Do you believe in the matrix that has been created? Are you distracted by the lady in the red dress while everything else is happening? You turn around and there's a fucking... Are you distracted by worldly passions? Because as you come into divine connection and divine union, it's like you don't need to even walk away from anything. You don't even need to. It's like, I know. I know what is for me and I know what is not for me. I know what's in vibrational frequency and what is not. And on top of that, like I know that if it's not in vibrational frequency, it's not even going to show up at my fucking door. It's literally like I'm existing on an alternate density. Like I've actually leveled up above so many of these masculines and soulmates that they could even be outside and I might not even see them because I'm in a different fucking dimension. How's that for you? How's that for some shit? Thank you. Where are you from, Hinyan? Or is it Niner? Where are you from? I have to hold down the grid over here. You know why? Because actually there's different chakra points that are on the planet. Okay. Number one, I do a lot of different things, you guys. So if you need help to figure out what your life's path is, okay, we can pull this up, okay? I do charts, okay? Something else you need to understand. The world itself has chakra systems. Now, Bali, where I am, right, Bali has a ley line, a grid line that runs from Mount Agung, from the volcano, all the way down through the bottom of Australia. And on this line, we are basically at the reproductive center of the planet. So if I'm going to birth a new era and a new planet and a new everything, then I need to be in the womb space, in the reproductive center, figuring out, taking out the toxins that are in the reproductive center. Imagine like, you remember Magic School Bus, right? I feel like you probably know this, right? But imagine it's like Magic School Bus. It's like they have to go to the different part of the body to get that fucking sickness or whatever out. It's like that's what's happening. Now, something else that I can do also for you guys is astrocartography. So something, and you can probably do it yourself. It may not mean the same thing to you as it does to me, but the astrocartography is very interesting too. So it's basically showing like where you can, different places in the world that are more conducive to different things. Now, the majority, like 4 of my astrocartography are like right here next to Bali. They're actually between Bali and Lombok in the middle of the ocean. So, not in the middle of the ocean, but like south in the ocean. So I'm like, let's go. I want to get a barge over there, start a garden, whatever, in the ocean. Like, that's the reality. But I know that in order for us to have more success spiritually, physically, in love, whatever. And so the astrocartography can show you different places that you can be at different points in your life that will bring in those energies for you, right? Then you have to know there's also other things, right? There's not just your astrology. There's also your human design. There's also your gene key. There's also your astrocartography. There's so many maps and things that tell us who we are, right? That tell us where we should be going and what we need to be doing. Las Vegas. And Henan as in Washington. It's hella chaos over here. Lots of opportunities to go gray. Yeah, I would imagine Las Vegas is kind of crazy. Viva Las Vegas, if you're into that, I guess. Too many sneaky people is not my type of place. I don't feel like I miss out. You know, like actually, obviously, there's a few things that I'm good at, right? Like roulette, I'm super good. Like I could go in and make one bet and win the money and walk right the fuck out. I don't care. I can't sit and pull slots and shit like that. Like that's not like, no. Like come on, look at what I do. I'm like instant, let me guess. Boom, boom. Some card games I'll play, but yeah, roulette. I'm more of a roulette player, for obvious reasons, because I'm going there to take care of business. I don't need to sit there and waste my time, huh? I don't find pleasure. I don't find pleasure in gambling. I find pleasure in winning. But like, I will never bet my own money. So like, the only way I win is that someone else gives me money to bet. Because there's a mental construct. Go figure, right? How's that? I need a sponsor. No, every time somebody gave me, it didn't matter if they gave me fucking $20 or $200. Like, I would get it back real fucking quick. So for many, this protection, for some, there can be somebody that's not choosing to practice the protection. This can be in many different ways. Now you know if you're my ex, this comes in the ways of whores. But if you're not practicing the protection, then what's going on is you're going to be moved, okay? And the reciprocation, right? This isn't going to be reciprocity. It's going to be like you already made the choice or the decision, right? To kind of like fumble the soulmate. And there's judgment. There is higher judgment that is coming down, and you're not going to get that love that you were hoping. You're not going to get the opportunity to offer that love that you were hoping. Now, for others, there is a beautiful opportunity coming through for you. This is somebody that you've known from the past. This is somebody that actually wants to take care of you, wants to get you to safety, is doing everything to keep you protected. See all these swords around her? They're protecting. They're doing. So there's two different people, okay? There's one person that chose, there's probably multiple people, but what I'm seeing here right now is two specific masculine energies. Now, tarot is fluid in gender. So you can be same-sex couple, and it doesn't matter. What matters is the energy of the card, and that's why I'm saying the sex or the gender, just so you guys know. Calm down. So they're moving. Okay, for some of you guys, you might be moving. They may be asking you to move. There can be a difference, in location. You guys can live far away from each other, and so they want to bring you to safety. For others, if you want to stay where you are, they want to keep you safe. They are going to protect you. They know that you have been devoted and giving. They know that you've had maybe a rough life, or maybe that your connection has been you've been giving and giving and giving, and now it's your time to receive. However, female collective, you still have the choice, okay? Free will always takes place. And not just free will, because you will find that there will be some twin flames, some masculine energies that are coming back, but also as well as that, you may have some other family member that may be coming back to test you, or you may also have a soulmate that is different connection that comes in. So be very specific or particular when you're asking questions or before you're making decisions, okay? Don't be too rash to make a quick judgment, okay? Make sure that you're checking in with your with your guides, okay? Gray City over there. Yeah, I mean, no offense to the Grays, but they love to do the fucking anal probing and the weird fucking experiments and shit. And they love to just kind of feed off of the darker curiosities of humans. And that's why they get this twisted shit. Because they're a little bit twisted. Yeah, so hop timelines, right? Hop timelines. Just know that we're going through the underworld, and if you have your sword of truth, bitches, you have your sword of truth, you're gonna be good. Can you give me clarification on this judgment? Okay, so for some of you guys, the masculine has not. Maybe this is someone that has not shared their feelings with you. This can be somebody that you don't even expect coming, actually. For many of you, this is going to be someone you don't expect. Someone that hasn't shared their feelings with you. Someone that maybe has been cold or has pretended like they didn't have feelings to you. Now, for some of you guys, that can be because they don't want to be turned down by feminine. For others, it can be because they are afraid that when they do come in and tell you that the choice that they did decide to make instead of feminine, that the choice that they did make for the other person, for the karmic, didn't end up good, and they thought that it was going to. And so they can be maybe experiencing a little bit of fear over that because they're afraid that you're going to refuse their cup of love and this happy ending. And they're afraid that if that happens, that they're not going to know what to do. Okay? They're not going to know what path to take. They are afraid they will be literally, it will be the straw that broke the camel's back, and this will be the most traumatic heart break because you're everything that they've been waiting for, and they don't see their path moving forward without you. Okay? For many of you guys, as the divine feminine energy has retracted this heartache, okay? And so the masculine is having a hard time feeling if feminine is actually missing them or not. Okay? The reality is feminine wants love, peace, stability, calmness, support, adoration. Okay? She needs to be worshipped and appreciated, not defiled, not second thought. Okay? And if someone else isn't providing that, if they're too busy holding on, thinking that money or friends or whatever else they've had for so long is more important than her safety or her stability, that's where they're fucking missing it, okay? That's where their fool is getting flipped upside down and their judgment, and that's why they got blocked, okay? That's why they're getting blocked, because they're still trying to hide something. They are still trying to sneak something. They are still trying to pretend like I didn't miss my opportunity, or actually like I didn't take this other opportunity to fuck this other person. I didn't give you the commitment when I should have, even though I knew that you were my dream. I thought that because you were always my dream and because feminine was committed to masculine, that it would never change. That her wish or her dream, her hope, and her faith in the commitment would never change. However, because they never actually solidified making this commitment, because they were still over here giving side dick, while the universe is over here trying to offer them the most divine source of creation. They're over here attaching to fucking some heartache, and they're experiencing that heartache because they're experiencing what it feels like to have this Queen of Cups, this emotional, this everything like this, to shut off. Okay, this is very Scorpionic energy, and we are in Scorpio. We can, once you're dead to Scorpio, you're fucking dead. Okay, you're dead. Like, they might even send flowers to your fucking grave, even if you don't have one, because that's how dead you are to a Scorpio. Okay, there's no little amount of passion or anything that you can re-offer them after that. Like, once you're like, It's like, it's not about any amount of mental construct. It's like they go cold. Once you've turned off a Scorpio's love, like that once you, like, you can have the most loyal person as your friend or as your partner or as whatever, and you can even stop being their partner and still have them be a very loyal friend. Okay? However, Scorpio, scorpionic energy, if you fucking lie to them, if you betray them or lie to them about something, you are fucking dead to them. Because they know. And they might even let it run for a while. Just to, just to watch you fuck up your fortune. Just to watch you fuck up your world the way you try to fuck up theirs. They'll literally do it just for a laugh. To do it. They're not even doing it. They're just watch the fucking, what do you call it? The karmatic boomerang come right back at you. And, yeah. For some of you guys, you may be losing your fortune. You may be losing your divine connection, and you may be stuck in this mental construct because you chose not to share your feelings or emotions, or you chose to be cold in your emotions. You chose to say, you know what? Actually, I'm not on your side. I'm not on your team, feminine. I'm not here to battle for you. I'm over here looking for other offers. I'm over here offering your money, your energy, your life force support that I'm stealing from you to other people. But they ain't coming out looking so good. Because what's actually going to happen, oh, you guys, look at this, just blew over, is the lovers are coming into union. They cannot stop this. Look at this, the yang energy. Can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. Like where they thought that they had them, they had, no, bitch. You're going to be there crying with your tail between your legs. Because even if you tried to block this, you're even in more mental construct, okay? For some of them, they can be going to jail or the mental institution, committed. And it's not in a relationship type of commitment or a church type of commitment. It's for fucking up your hope or your dream, for fucking up Divine's hope or dream. For many of them, if they were sexually promiscuous, they can have some type of disease, or they can have impotency. Yeah. And all the people that they were trying to protect instead of feminine, they're all coming after them. All of them. They may be on the run, actually. Yeah. Their world is over. Over. Should have acted faster. Should have thought about who you were fighting and whose team you were on. So know who the fuck is on your team and who's not on your team. Who's on the boat and who's not on the boat. They can't balance it out. There's nothing they can do. They're trying magic. They're trying all of these things, and everything's just backfiring them. You guys, you can't do magic. For some of them, they're trying to do love spells. Not going to happen. It's going to literally take love away from you and everyone you love. Everything that you love. If you try to gain things without putting in the work, you lose everything. And everyone you love loses everything. All the people that are connected. For many, there could be people that actually did take your fortune that were trying to make you feel crazy. And that shit's about to come back to you. Because they were trying to say that you weren't well, that you weren't of a stable mind or of a sane mind to be able to handle this money. Oh, you've proven that you have, and that shit's coming in fast. Coming in hot! Look at that. King of Pentacles to balance that shit out like the magician, okay? Rule over this, okay? For some of you guys, very strong Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Virgo. Doesn't have to be, just strong. This is Capricorn energy, so it can be a Capricorn. My fucking mom and my brother's fucking psycho, black magic, evil, whatever the fuck, children of my mother, of my nieces, she's Capricorn. She is this energy. She's gonna lose her life if she hasn't already lost her car or her whatever. Like, she tried to do this shit on me. So I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't end up getting a DUI or in a bad accident for drinking and driving, because she tried to accuse me of drinking and driving when I got hit by a fucking truck. So I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all would really like to know. Going down. Going down. Ain't in the mall. So make sure you cut your energetic cords. Alchemy gang, it has been transmuted and the universe responds to the sun. That's right. The universe responds to the light. So when you do the right thing, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. I got so many things taken away from me. Like, you think my life has existed on deprivation. I have been abandoned my whole life. You think threatening me, you're gonna fucking lose everything in your life right now? Okay. Tight. That means it's making space for the thing I really wanted. I don't give a fuck. So I know it's not, I know, like, I don't care. I already knew a long time ago. I knew that he was going to be leaving this place long before me. I knew that I was going to be keeping the place because I was asking. I tried to move my shit out of here in the first fucking 6 months. But it wasn't. The universe is like, you have to be here. There's something about an energetic grid. There's something about where this place is and what I'm supposed to do here. Oh no. I be knowing. I just be like committed to it. I committed to the faith of knowing that my dreams and my things aren't affected by these people playing victims. They're playing victims to try to rain on my parade. It doesn't matter. If they rain, I got the waterproof parasol, you guys. I have a whole series of them. If you didn't, go check out, I should put actually my other Instagram links. If you can see a lot of my different art on Instagram at Artwares. HEARR, 2 R's because I'm a pirate. Wares, WEARZ, because I am Zoe. I'll start to link it actually. I'll put all the things I'll start to make that a thing. Anyways, I got more work to do. Just giving myself more work to do. I just need a fucking assistant. I need somebody that's like really good at the technological things. I'll make you whatever you want. I'll help you do some healing sessions, but someone else come in and help me with the technologic, please. Thank you. Okay, as always, guys, you're doing great. Keep moving forward. I'm very proud of you. If nobody told you today, you're amazing. Keep going. You got this. And I love you. Ciao for meow.